Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your boy Trey, my man Bishop, Ron to be here. I'm sure he's not going to miss today, and another guest that we'll be having on today to talk about these conspiracies like this past weekend in the
Oh, my
NFL.
fault,
But
Trey. That gentleman, as he's not gonna make it. He had to go
okay,
into
okay.
work, so he's not
Okay,
gonna make it.
okay. Word. No problem. So, saying we'll go ahead and saying keep it pushing. Bishop, how you doing, sir?
Oh man, man, is that I don't even. First of all, falling. As you see, I'm not late for formation this morning. But
Of
not only
course
that,
not. Of all mornings,
of course
please.
not. I wouldn't be late for this morning. Um, but that ain't even the question. WGO, WGO, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing on this great Monday morning? So, Trey asked the question, how am I doing this morning? And
Good
as you
morning,
can see,
Jackie. Good morning,
I'm
Jackie.
doing absolutely great. What's up, Jackie? How you doing? The question isn't how am I doing?
Oh,
The question should be more as, and as you see the GOAT, it should be more of how are you doing? And you notice how one name has shortened and another name has gotten longer. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen that? Have y'all witnessed that?
what's good,
The
Jordan?
name
What's good,
changes. What's
Freddie?
going on?
What's going
But
on,
my question,
MA?
good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My question is
Oh my
to
God.
you, Trey, how are you doing? And mine, disregard my background. Don't worry about that. I know it might be a little offensive to Trey. It might be a little bit offensive to Trey,
Uh,
but don't worry about it. Don't worry about the background. My question is, how are you doing, sir, this fine Monday morning? Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Just call me the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? What up, little bro? What up,
what's
little
going
bro? What
on,
up?
Dante? So I'm pretty good, man. I can live with the results of the
Really have
game.
no choice. You really have no choice,
True
really.
that, and that's funny how just like so we're like like me disapproving really is going to change the outcome of like me the
I feel you.
outcome. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, Theodore
Look,
Montgomery. What it go
look.
hey, you already know. Go run that, bro. Freddie, you already know. Jordan, you already know. Theodore, life is great. Good game this week. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. What up, Key?
What's
How you
going
doing
on,
this
Key? How you
morning, man?
doing?
How
How
y'all
you doing?
doing?
So but I mean, it is what it is, man. What I'm saying. I can live with that results, but what I'm despising is the simple fact of now what's going on, Erica. So
Erica, what's going? Oh,
why I'm
Erica, are you okay? Are you good? Okay. Are you okay, Erica? Because I know you was really rooting and tooting for for Trey over here. I just want to make sure you're having a good morning. For all those people that things didn't pan out. I'm pretty sure you feel like Trey, Erica. I'm sure. Brokenhearted, I understand. I totally understand.
so like I said, I could kind of live with the with that with the how things.
The
Well,
outcome.
not really, but for the sake of that, I can. But the fact of now, I have to. What's going on, buddy? What's going on, buddy?
What up, buddy? Good.
Everyone,
Prayers to Trey.
the fact of now, you and Ron are a game ahead of me,
That's right.
coming down to one game,
That's
and
right.
so now I have to even. So now I have to basically pick whatever y'all against whatever y'all pick.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
even if we all, because what I'm not going to say, we don't say what our pick is, but if I think we all might have the same pick, then I have to go against who I actually believe is going to win for the sake
To try and tie.
to
To
try
try
to
and tie
tie
it.
it. I have
Three-way
to go
tie.
against that. Yeah, so that's what
Yeah.
that's what I'm dreading. But although I think that y'all going to pick what I'm going to pick separately anyway, so I might not have to. So what I'm saying.
Oh, we'll see. We'll
Saying
see.
we got 2 weeks to lead up for all that. So
Yes.
saying
Yes. Things can
it's
change in 2 weeks.
yeah,
A
two
lot.
weeks. We never know what'll happen in practices. Someone
Right.
might, saying
COVID.
stranger things that happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
COVID could come
COVID.
over.
Saying
Yeah. Yeah.
could take someone out.
Yep.
I wish COVID would have took out Cooper Cup yesterday, but But you know what I'm saying? Just,
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
look at this.
There you go. There go that man. And
Looky
hey,
here. Looky here. Looky
you
here.
know what? Yeah, I
Here.
like that. Don't. But see, this is the thing, right? This is the thing because Ron doesn't get a pass because Ron was very, 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 and if I'm not mistaken, wanted to change his picks. He wanted this man was questioning his pick between the Kansas City Chiefs and them Cincinnati Bengals. You will believe in the GOAT, Ron. You will trust the GOAT's methods. You will know that the GOAT does what he does for a reason. I made that pick and I was standing by that pick. And boy, did it not disappoint.
The GOAT Bishop, I support.
Give it to me, Ron. Give it to me. You see, Trey's name has gotten a little shorter. You
Oh,
notice how
I had a name coming up. I almost went to did graphics and everything. Like I, I was gonna show out come this morning, and
oh
then
my
I looked
God.
up. I was like, man, you know, what I'm saying it's
Ron,
unfortunate.
aren't you happy that you didn't change your pick, sir?
I am not happy at all. I can't. The whole world is shocked.
Why? Why is that a shocker, y'all? I seen it coming.
Nobody saw this from Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, I did. I picked it. I saw it.
That's why
saw it.
you're the only one. And everybody else in Cincinnati.
So, matter of fact, we'll get into that. You know, what I'm saying very short. You know, a couple of things we wanted to talk about prior to, especially me. Of course, I wouldn't talk about something else. But
you know that for sure.
So what was interesting, you know, saying just a couple of days ago, we were putting on and talking about how Jeff Garcia, you know, saying was a pretty good player for the position in which he played that quarterback, as in becoming a journeyman of sorts after he left San Francisco. Effective one at that, Philadelphia, and a couple of other stops in which, but of course, he got into it last week with ESPN analyst Mina Kimes, you know, saying reporter Mina Kimes, because he felt that she went in on Jimmy Garoppolo by saying that Jimmy Garoppolo basically was the student that didn't say anything in a group project that got an A, and he didn't do anything to help at the end of the day. So of course, Jeff Garcia came to the aid of his fellow alumnus 49er, saying that the football position, I mean the quarterback position is a very hard position, and anyone that has not played the position should not say anything or should not judge over a case like that. It basically said that she didn't know what she was talking about and all that. Of course, her, you know, saying her fraternity of media personalities came to her defense, saying that Mina Khan is very knowledgeable in the football arena, and that Jeff Garcia's comments were misogynistic and almost racist in a sense. Gentlemen, from that, do you feel like Jeff Garcia had a point? And he said it's not in does it has nothing to do with her being a female, because had a male said the same thing, he would have been on them too. Do you think Jeff Garcia was he had a point in
In the
which
right for
saying
saying
that,
what he's
yeah,
saying.
in the
Yeah.
right for saying what he's saying, or do you
Yeah,
think it has a
absolutely.
point to which, okay, Bishop,
I
go ahead, you
absolutely
said.
think I absolutely feel like right. I absolutely feel like that. I feel like as an analyst or a person who is who speaks about sports and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. You go to school to become a sports writer, an analyst, and things like that, and you have your
What's going
degrees
on, Hawaii?
in certain things. What's good? What up, AP? To be able to be an analyst, however, you are not going to have the on-field experience like a player would. So in my opinion, I don't think Jeff Garcia was wrong. Like he said, he corrected the fact that he said if it was a male, he would have said the same thing. If you never played the position, you cannot really, I'm not saying you can't comment.
Mm-hmm.
However, you don't know what it feels like to be in that position, but especially as a center. It was especially as a center. I mean, as a quarterback. I'm sorry, especially as a quarterback, being the leader of your team. You have no idea. You don't know the pressures. You don't know what is put on the shoulders of these players. And I'm not even just talking about males. We do know there's women playing football in all aspects, whether it's flag, whether it's full contact, and so forth and so on. There's some semi-pro female leagues out there that are playing full contact just like the males. But if you're not in that position, if you never played that position, should I say, if you never played that position, there's only so much you can really talk about in regards to criticizing individuals that are playing or who have played that position.
Ron, you were agreeing?
Yeah, for the most part. I think the statement he made is a little bit audacious, but it's a lot of shade to a lot of people who do this professionally and have put a lot of work into it. But at the end of the day, we've kind of made sense of what he was trying to say. But that shade Mina Kimes, she had a whole revolution ready behind her, ready for So
they definitely stood up for, of course, Molly Karam, host of ESPN's First Take. She basically stated that we're not going anywhere. Speaking to that of females and women in
I don't like Molly Karam. I really don't.
You don't, bro?
I don't.
What's good? Why you don't like Molly, man?
It's something I don't. And the bad thing is, I shouldn't say I don't like her. I don't care for her as a analyst. I don't. It's something about it. She's corny to me, for one. She's real corny to me. I'm not gonna lie. She's corny to me. But I'm like I feel like I understand what Ron's saying in regards to all these analysts coming to her aid and stuff like that. I get it. But what did he really say wrong? Did he really say anything wrong? To be honest, all he said is, if you haven't played the position, there's only so much you can talk about.
I think that what they're looking at is that I think what the rhetoric is that they feel like he is basically discrediting her in the job in which she does, and saying, as an analyst, and break it down.
Did he really discredit her?
He said she didn't know what she was talking about, and said that basically she couldn't. The opinion that she made, or the point that she made, wasn't validated, and that.
Let me put it to you like this, then, Trey. That's like saying, asking an 88 Mike. An 88 Mike is gonna tell you, as a 92 Golf or a 94 Bravo. Well, you're a Golf, but I'm sorry, for a 92 Golf, for him to come to you and say, hey, you know what? You should put that temperature in which you cooking that chicken at is wrong. That line in which you have set up, you didn't garnish it right, or that potato salad, it doesn't look like it's the right consistency. Right. That's like somebody coming out of your, you know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, he may be a cook himself, and you know what I'm saying, he may have a culinary background. Even though he's an 88 Mike, he might not chose to be a truck driver or in the military, but he chose to, he may not be chose. He may not be a culinary, right? But he chose to be a truck driver. That doesn't mean he's not inexperienced in the cooking realm. But however, you can't tell me, or he can't tell you how something is done in your realm, because he hasn't been in your shoes as far as the military 92 Golf. You know what I'm saying? He may know expertise in cooking because he's done it in a way, but if he's not even done it, we're talking about someone who's never played football. She's never played football before. So how much really does she know? Don't know. She knows the X's and O's. She knows a lot of the things in which probably go on by, the people in which she's interviewed. She studies the game. Don't get me wrong. But if you haven't played to position, you're only limited to so much that you can really say. And I think that's all Jeff Garcia was really trying to say. That's my opinion.
I think that's what he was trying to say. Like he said, it just so happened that Mina Kimes was the one in which who said it, and he I ain't gonna say lashed out at, but he basically spoke about. But then he did come back after, because they were saying that he owes her an apology, and he stated that he does not owe her an apology, and that's when he said, I would have said the same thing. He's like, it wasn't meant to be. I'm saying it, skip. Joy Bryant.
Joy Bryant is good. Yeah, she is.
So it's like it wasn't
I
meant to
like
be
Joy Brown.
misogynistic or anything like that. He would have said it if it was a man that was saying it. At the end of the day, that is a hard position. You don't know what goes on while playing that position, and sit up and say those things was, saying, out of line at the end of the day. So.
Do you all feel like it was out of line? Do y'all feel like Jeff Garcia was wrong for saying what he said?
So I didn't see the tape necessarily when he said or how he said or how it came across. I would think, saying a lot of times, just like how a text message comes out, or if it
Mm-hmm.
was a tweet or something like that, you can't gauge what the what the delivery is for the most part. You only have to speculate what it is, and if that
Right.
was the case, then of course it should have been a situation where he could have, of course, got on, did an interview or something like that, or said it. I think he was on the radio actually when he said, I'll have to go back and research that to confirm that. I wouldn't say necessary. I can completely understand and get where he was coming from and saying it, because we talk about it all the time. But then at the same time, like, saying at this point, what we do is somewhat that of an analysis. And we might have played the sport and look at the sport from a different aspect.
Right.
But we, like you said, from the professional level, flag football to, saying anything else compared to a professional is the pinnacle at the end of the day. That we haven't been in those shoes. So as we sit and
Mm-hmm.
talk about, saying, like, we're sitting in our living rooms discussing this and talking about this, while you have others or even athletes who are considered professionals in the game, or had to be considered a professional at one point. So you would think that you give more credence to them. So, but I don't completely knock what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I can kind of, like, I can understand and stand it. I just wonder if it was how he delivered the message as opposed to what he said.
Oh, okay. I can understand that. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Definitely, definitely. So one of the hottest things this past weekend, y'all man's TB12 called it quits, or so we thought. I don't know. I guess this morning they confirmed it, that it was confirmed that Tom Brady, if Pride was here, we get the whole name, the social security number, everything. But Tom
Mm-hmm. Date
Brady
of birth,
has decided,
all of that.
yeah, date of birth, saying all that. But Tom Brady has decided to call it quits after 22 years at the age of 44. When y'all heard the news, what emotions did that exact in you gentlemen when you see that he decided to quit? What was first things that came to mind? Your first emotions,
Ron,
Ron?
I'll let Ron go first.
Really just was in a state of awe.
Mm-hmm.
It's, wow. I just kind of sat back and was just like, it's the end of an era.
Mm-hmm.
Thought about guys like Peyton Manning, um, Tom Brady himself. So, like, wow, Aaron Rodgers is like the oldest quarterback now in the NFL. Big Ben retiring. It's the new age, the new era, and it's never going to be the same. Football on Sundays will never be the same without Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I have to totally agree with him. I'll say, yeah, it's definitely an end of an era. It will be different to see football on Sundays without Tom's name being mentioned or being seen out there on that field. I will say this though, I am a bit surprised, and I know y'all probably wondering why are you surprised? I'm
Yeah, why are you
surprised that
surprised?
I'm surprised the fact that he announced it so early. I
Mm-hmm.
really thought he was going to really think about it. I mean, we were only a week away from the last game in which he played, and I felt like he was going to be like Gronk and kind of like sit and really contemplate about whether or not he was, going to retire, like Gronk said he was doing. He felt like Gronk said a few days prior to, like he was like, it's a little too early. He said the game we just lost, emotions and stuff like that. He said I'm gonna sit and think about it. And Thomas just, it hadn't been, it was barely a week from the last game he played, and he already had pretty much said he was going to go ahead and hang the cleats up. He hasn't announced yet though, and he hasn't set a time or a date on when he's planning on announcing it. So
Mm-hmm.
my thing is, there is a slight possibility that he may come back. I'm thinking once he sit down and really, really think about it. But it's also, I mean, he announced it for a reason, so he may not come back. The probability of him coming back is probably 10%, in my opinion, because the reasons on why he said he was hanging him up. He's ready to spend time with his wife. He's ready to spend time with his family. things of that nature. So, yeah, it's probably a 10% chance of him coming back. However, there is that, that 10% chance. But when he announces, that's of course going to pretty much solidify it for everyone. My thing is, does he retire with Tampa Bay, or does he go back to the Patriots and re-sign a big contract and retire with the organization that made him the GOAT? You know what I'm saying? So that is the question at hand. But yeah, it's definitely going to be different nowadays.
Which one would y'all pick if you would you go back? Would you
Oh yeah,
leave? You would go back to New England,
yeah.
Ron? You
You
going back
have
to New
to.
England?
You
Yeah,
have
I
to.
like
You
that.
pretty much have to.
You know what? I'm in my feelings. I'm going against whatever y'all say. I'm staying in
We
Tampa Bay.
know. We know. We know. We know.
Go against whatever.
we know. We know
Whatever.
you and your feelings, but you pretty much have to. Don't get not taking anything away from Tampa Bay. That is the last high in which he had before he ended his career. I totally agree with you, Freddie. It is family time now. And he's 44 years old. To be able to retire, that's one of the only other sport or only other occupations where you can retire at an early age, at a young age, and still be, you know what I'm saying? And absolutely, Zach. That's what I think. So I think that he will stay retired. I'm just waiting for Gronk now to announce his. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Gronk is going to announce his too here soon
So
within the next few days.
so what do y'all think? What is y'all most iconic Brady moment?
Oh, it's the Falcons game, easy.
Oh, absolutely, the Falcons game, without question, man.
Yeah, I agree. I can't go against y'all on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. The Falcons game is
Oh,
definitely that solidified pretty much and put him definitely in the GOAT conversation. Then when he did that against the Atlanta Falcons, that showed you who he truly was.
And then, not to, what I'm saying, I have to go ahead and we didn't even get a chance to speak in Ben in this aspect. What do y'all think was Ben, another retiree who's probably going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? What do you think his most iconic moment was?
That what was that game? What Super Bowl was that when he threw that
Through
pass
the back
back
corner
of
to
the end zone?
Santonio
San
Holmes?
Antonio Holmes, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the bit. I think that was his iconic moment right there when he threw that pass that only Holmes could have caught, and it couldn't have been a better pass. I mean, mad shouts out to Holmes too, because it was a great catch to be able to get his hands out.
Even though
Feet down.
even though it was subjective, they said it looked like it wasn't 2 feet
Oh
down.
no, they showed it close, bro. It was clear. Both feet tiptoe. He tiptoe dancing to get that one. That was probably that's probably one of the best catches ever in a Super Bowl.
So
iconic.
yes, I think he's Holmes pass. So now a goat has, left the building.
Mhm.
I ask you, gentlemen, in all the sports in which we have people uh who have surpassed just the regular superstar, we talk about Nova type atmosphere. Who do you think in sports is the greatest goat of all time? Let me
What?
before y'all, yeah, listen, just listen,
Okay.
hear me out. Listen, what I'm about to say. Every sport has a goat for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So who do you think surpasses every goat in every sport? Before you answer, let's just go over a couple of those goats. In basketball,
You can't answer that question.
listen, listen. This is okay. Let me give you a couple of names because I know you're about to say that what everyone considers to be the golden basket. Who does everyone consider to be the golden basketball? Clear cut.
Jordan.
Okay, all right. So who was the goat in boxing?
That right there is probably hand. You can't say that because it weight classes.
True enough, but there's a pound for pound for the most part.
There's
You
a
still
man
can't
that's
you still
undefeated.
can't say that. Yeah, there's one man undefeated, but a lot of people said wouldn't consider. Well, a lot of people do
Was
consider
it
him GOAT,
is
but
it
some
safe to
people
say
don't.
Muhammad Ali?
No, it's not safe to say, in
You
my
gotta give it
opinion.
the.
What'd you say, Ron?
I think you just got to give it to Floyd.
See,
With
Okay,
a lot
let's
of people.
say
Okay,
Floyd. Let's say
yeah, but you can't
thank
really
you, Key.
in
But
that weight
since
class.
I
I
would
feel you, Key, but a lot of people would disagree.
I would digress to them because they currently have a little slight edge over me. So
But
I
how do you put Muhammad Ali over Mike Tyson? The youngest one how do you do that? The youngest one to ever be a boxing champion at the age of 19. How do you do that? See, people that you can't really do it with boxing because it's too many weight classes. But go ahead, keep going. My bad, Trey. Go ahead. What else? What else? In my
Hockey.
opinion,
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky is probably going to be considered the GOAT.
Olympian for male. Who you think might be the greatest Olympian?
Usain.
Yeah, Jamaica in the United States.
Only for United States.
In the
can't
US,
consider.
Listen.
But listen, the GOAT doesn't have
swimming. Who is the greatest Olympian swimmer? I mean,
Oh,
come on, Michael Phelps has about 12 and 15 gold medals. So you know what I'm saying? He surpasses a lot of Olympians, but swimming. So Michael Phelps. Gymnastics.
But doesn't know. Oh, you said male. Gymnastics is going to be Simone Biles.
Female, correct.
Simone Biles. Or
track and field.
You can't. There isn't one.
I think that Ron just said it.
You just said no. You just said USA.
But I'm talking about track and field for a Jamaican track and field, a runner in track and field. So the point I'm making is there's because like you just said specifically, you just sit up and said there's hard to name a lot of people, but you know those names in which you say that, like, you know what I'm saying, Serena Williams, Messier, Ronaldo, Tiger Woods, those are all have been considered GOATs for their respective.
No, they haven't been put in GOAT. No, but you saying it. But who has called them people GOATs? Because I have not ever heard anyone call Tiger Woods a GOAT. I've never heard anyone call Serena Williams the GOAT. I've never heard any. I haven't. This is me. I haven't. In my time, I've never heard these people being considered GOATs, being labeled as GOATs. Have they been labeled, greatest? Yes. Of all time, I haven't heard that. I mean, Ron, have you? Maybe I've missed some interviews, but I've never heard that.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah, I don't think everybody. Yeah, there's levels to this stuff, and I don't think everybody can be considered a GOAT in every sport, in my opinion. Just like boxing, I don't feel like you can, because of the fact that there's so many weight classes. Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from, Ron, in regards to Floyd, because he is undefeated. I get him. But in regards to everybody else, I don't feel like everybody else can be. You can't. Is it safe to say that you can't have a GOAT in the Olympics? You can't. You can have you can have a person, because, and I think and this is just my opinion, I think it's because of the fact that we have the Olympics every 4 years, is because it is the reason why you can't really have a GOAT in the Olympics. Yes, you can have some of the greatest runners, but I don't feel like I don't feel like you can put them in GOAT status. In my opinion, that's just me. There are certain things in which I don't think you can put them in GOAT in the talk about GOAT being a GOAT. Basketball, yeah. Football, yeah. Baseball, yeah.
So in your opinion, what puts you in that GOAT status? What are the factors, or what are the criteria that put you in the status where, okay, you can be considered a GOAT?
Just like it states, the greatest of all time, to have basically changed the game of whatever sport it is you play. Like, and you've held that status, or you've held that plateau of being the best at that game for a period of I don't know how long. Jordan, was that guy for however long. Serena Williams, she was that female for however long. Those people. Tom Brady was that person for however long. You know what I'm saying? For 22 years. Of course, not all 22 years he was considered the GOAT, but however, he has won. His accomplishments has put him in a status that has made him given him the label as the GOAT, because he's a 7-time Super Bowl champion, a 5-time Super Bowl MVP. You know what I'm saying? Those things are what, puts you there. Usain Bolt, yeah, he's won some medals. He's won some gold medals, in 100 meters, 200. I get it, but he does that every 4 years. So it's like, I mean, come on, dude. We're talking about, you're
So
comparing apples to oranges.
so I mean, not only does he do it every year, he's currently the fastest man in the world over those time frames. Like his record still stands, and he's been going for 2 Olympics, and that's 8 years. So
Mhm.
that's so you know what I'm saying. So then
That's
I
8 years, but that's 2 Olympics.
well
That's
no
only
I'm
two
saying well
Olympics.
those I mean that's since he's gone. He's set the record twice, in my opinion, if I'm correct, in two different events.
Right. But you only run, like, how many times has he ran in the Olympics, right? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe 3 times, 3, 4 times, because of how often it happens. Because you only have it every 4 years. Yeah, Mike, get him, get him. Yeah. So that's just my opinion. I would not be able to pick a overall goat over, like, you could, like I said. I think that's what you're asking. I don't think you. I
Yes.
don't think you could pick an overall goat. There's no.
So I know a while back, for the life of me, I used to think that overall, uh, the greatest goat was Lance Armstrong. I used to think that, like,
Look at Ron.
yeah,
What?
I used to think. So for me, it was about what he accomplished, what he did. You know, what I'm saying what he was up against, and like
His
oh,
history, what is his
year, yeah,
backstory?
year out, like you know, what I'm saying 8 years in the events in a row, which he won the Tour de France. Like I'm not even biking 10 miles. This man, you know, what I'm saying consistently done that. You know, what I'm saying over a great amount of time, like the gruel and everything like that. Like okay, we see is bicycling, but then it takes a lot. It's one of those. It was one of those things that what you looked at. Like it takes a whole lot to be consistent all over. Like he was dominant for almost a whole decade in this, in which he still had the training and all that type of stuff. So it was like I'm one of those that looks at things from a perspective, a different type of perspective. Like we all look at, okay, it's easy. Like I'm very sure hockey is a hard sport to play. And because we look at it as like, what were they doing? Like, no, they're skating, high speeds and all in a short distance, so different things. So is when you put the simplicity of saying football or basketball to be able to do certain things, and then you put it up against other sports. I think we lose track of what it takes for people to be good in those perspective sports. And for me, when I put it all together, it's like what's the most comprehensive. No different from, like, we talk about Magic Johnson compared to Kyrie and I just look at it as Magic Johnson is a bigger individual in stature, and he does the same things, and maybe not as well as they do, but he did or did the same thing, did the same thing in which those players did from a larger perspective. That makes it, that makes what his accomplishments better. No different than a smaller person that's dunking at the, this is a difference. So that's how I just see it. Uh, so of course, as we get closer to the season and it's getting ready to, we're about to be done a week away, or 2 weeks away, in which that'll be the last game of the NFL season. Um, Coaching, however, correction, we do get to see football still. It might not be the great NFL, but there's an old favorite coming back. The USFL will be back in full swing. 10 game season starting in April. We also have former coach Jeff Fisher will be reinstituted and coaching again, pacing the sidelines, that he's coaches for the USL's Michigan Panthers. Gentlemen, are y'all interested in seeing the USL as a stopgap to the NFL season?
Won't watch a second.
Not you know you're not watching the second. You're not even checking it on the highlight. You know it's gonna have highlights. You're not even you turning your head when the highlights come on.
No, we're not. We're not interested. we'll we'll take some time and just wait for the NFL to come back. It'll be okay.
So do y'all think these things are basically just a situation where people are just trying to capitalize on the sport, or do you think they actually there's some validity to it being a actual entertainment uh, conglomerate in which they're able to continue on to use that stopgap and continue to give the people, for sports fans, particularly football fans, something to look forward to after the NFL has ended? Because let's be real, it's a potentially some of these players might end up in NFL.
Exactly. They got fan bases and communities that love and support what they do. Ramping up for baseball. No fake football. She said fake football.
Of course, some other news that came across, uh, the New York Giants have a new head coach. Offensive coordinator, the ball for the Buffalo Bills has taken the position of head coach for the New York Giants. Uh, do y'all think he's going to be effective in that position? Do you think now the Giants, now that Joe Judge is out, they have someone from what the Bills have become in the last couple of years, their offensive coordinator? Do you think that this is a situation where now Daniel Jones might actually get a chance to really show out and become what become what he looks like he's been able to do?
I think they're going to be horrible. So
Even worse.
no, less than or equal to.
Mm. Even with Saquon Barkley, a healthy Saquon.
When have we ever been able to say that? Oh, that was a good healthy year from Saquon. Never.
Wasn't his rookie year that?
His rookie year. I don't even think he played every game in his rookie year.
I can't remember.
No.
Yeah, I don't
New
remember.
York Giants is a dumpster fire. I would have stayed in Buffalo. We got a Super
It's just
Bowl.
waiting for another job.
Yeah, we got Super Bowl potential next year. Let's
Good
run it
question, Zach. Do y'all think this hurts the Bills now? Or is Josh Allen exactly who he thought he was, and it doesn't make a difference whose offensive coordinator is?
back. Exactly. I mean, Bills need to fix their run game anyway, but his offense is Josh Allen, a spread out 5 wide, and let me do what I want to do, whether that's running the ball or finding somebody. It's his offense is simple.
Hmm.
It's like a wrecking ball.
So we'll get to see if if the ball had greatness or if it was all Josh Allen's in his greatness at the end of the day. But so tell me this: I know you said dumpster fire, Ron. Do you believe a dumpster fire is a burning in Las Vegas as they have poached the Patriots director of personnel Dave Ziegler as the new Las Vegas Raiders GM, as well as offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels to potentially be their next head coach? Is a dumpster fire still burning in Vegas, or is it about to be fireworks?
Fireworks. I don't know about no dumpster fire. I feel like Oakland may have won the offseason award. They have hired a spectacular coach, and like you said, just stole him away. I know the last time we saw him go coach, it went horrible, but it's been a long time since then. I think he's going to do great things out there in Oakland, an organization that's already put together. We've seen them overcome so much this year, and to get a great football mind like himself to come and join the organization, it's just up from there. Exactly.
Bishop, but dumpster fire or fireworks?
Yeah, I need one. I don't even think about that, to be honest with you, because that right now it's too early to figure out because there's so much stuff that's got to happen within the next 60 to 90 days. You don't know, and with Tom Brady retiring, it just feels like it's gonna be some more stuff that's gonna happen that's gonna determine whether or not how they're gonna be.
So matter of fact, let me go back to something. You just said something that struck a question I was about to ask y'all earlier. I think we've covered it before, but now it's even more so because Brady is gone. If you were to put a percentage or possibility, what percentage possibility would you put on Aaron Rodgers in Tampa to cover down for Tom Brady?
Mm. Um, I make it low,
Below.
10%, 15%. There's so many other places he could go instead of following in Tom's footsteps.
You think you see it as him following Tom's footsteps, or him just continue on greatness in Tampa Bay?
I think it's going to be the narrative. It's going to be a little bit of both, regardless. There's going to be a narrative out there that he's following Tom. There's going to be a narrative that he's doing his own thing. But I hate it.
So neither would you would you go there, Bishop, if you was Tom? I mean, not Aaron, and the opportunity, you wouldn't go.
Mm-mm. Nope.
San Francisco and Miami.
Yep. And which I said that a numerous times when it comes to Aaron Rodgers.
Somewhere get out of the away from the cold, somewhere sunny.
The element. Yep. Stay out there, get into something with better weather. I'm on my last stroke. I'm on my down stroke. Let me go somewhere where the weather's good. Finish out.
Okay. So also in coaching news, Jim Harbaugh potentially has been in talks with the Vikings for their head coaching position. Ron, I know you are a resident fan. Is this a good look for Jim? Would you leave the blue and maize? I mean the amazing blue. I mean the navy blue and yellow to go to Minnesota, or would you stay put?
Jimbo, you better not do it. He better stay put. Don't you come down to Minnesota at all. That would be horrible, horrible decision. Why is because it would be it feels like it would be a downgrade in position going from the University of Michigan, which is a like if you win there, you really become iconic. Um, to Minnesota is kind of just like, what are your expectations there? They're not going to be now. If he was going to like the Cowboys, or he was going to a Oakland or some franchise that has a lot of prominence, I would think, okay, I would accept you leaving the University of Michigan, but not for Minnesota. That would break
Bishop,
my.
Bishop, we talked about before about there's some weapons in Minnesota. Do you think
True.
Harbaugh makes those weapons a lot
Until
better?
Harbaugh, even until Harbaugh says anything about leaving, it don't even matter. He ain't said he was leaving nowhere yet, so it don't matter. If he haven't spoke about saying he's potentially leaving Michigan, it's irrelevant. Everybody can say they want a Harbaugh, but until he says he's ready to leave Michigan, it don't even matter yet.
No, they had interviews. He's
But
talking. He's been
he
talking to
hasn't
them. No,
he
I'm saying
hasn't said he hasn't said that he was leaving. You could talk to anybody, but until you physically say that I'm leaving, I'm going to go, it don't matter. So there's no need in saying, well, in my opinion, there's no need to be like, oh, well, will he fit? Should he work? Nah, because it ain't nothing to really talk about yet until he says, I'm taking that job. Now we can say, oh, do we feel like Harbaugh's a fit in Minnesota? Do we feel like he has the weapons to be successful in Minnesota? But until he says that, I'm gonna leave it as it is. So I surely know that he's planning on leaving Michigan.
So of course we have, like we said, at the beginning of the season or throughout the season, we had about 9 positions that was open, 9 head coaching positions. Of course, they have been filled. The field lost. Like we just said, it Las Vegas has filled the position with Josh McDaniels. Brian DeBall filled the position in New York. Denver Broncos have filled their position with Nathaniel Hackett. Chicago Bears have filled their position with Matt Eberflus. There are still the New Orleans Saints still open. Jacksonville Jaguars, Minnesota Vikings, Miami Dolphins, Houston, and the Houston Texans. Out of those positions, those coaching jobs, which do you think is the most wanted or most valuable position that's out there as far as head coaching? The team that has the most upside.
What are the teams again?
New Orleans, Houston,
what up, Taylor Made,
Miami, Houston, Miami, Minnesota, Jacksonville, and New Orleans.
Oh, that's actually kind of hard. It's going to be between Miami or New Orleans. You can even throw Minnesota in there. Looks like it's time to play. Which do you want your new job to be? And I want to get sent. I'll take Miami.
Miami? Oh, why Miami?
Environment. It's kind of hard to turn down a job like this in Miami, a coaching job. I take that 9 times out of 10. And then New Orleans, a close second.
Bishop, you going to Miami too?
No, I'm not picking none of them teams. I'm not picking none of them. In my opinion, nah, not right now. I'm telling you all, it's too early. Everything is too early right now.
Well, so you gotta think they got it. You ain't got no choice. Like the people they start making.
But I'm saying, for one, you don't know who the Super Bowl champion is yet, so we don't know what's gonna happen there, because we know a lot of teams, once the Super Bowl happens, they get rid of players. For one, that's happened almost every time. The only team I think that has not done that is Kansas City. When they've won the Super Bowl, they didn't let no one go. But the Super Bowl hasn't happened yet.
Tampa Bay didn't either.
Tampa Bay did. They let go. Oh, you talking about last year?
Yeah, they let their Super Bowl. They ain't letting anyone go.
Yeah. So and then you talk.
That's why they have problems now.
And then you talk about. Then we haven't had the combine. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had the combine.
But wouldn't that be a reason why
you haven't had general manager positions filled yet? So there's a lot that still has to take place.
But so wouldn't you think it would be you would want a head coach in place before the combine and all that type of stuff?
Yeah,
that's
like but you want a general manager too. Yeah, but you want a general manager too.
All the positions at which general managers are are filled.
No, not all of them.
Yeah, it was 3 of them. Oh, so what? Maybe Minnesota, but everyone else has filled their. Yeah. Everyone else has filled their general. Everyone else
might want to go to Minnesota. But that's my thing. I may want to go to Minnesota. That's just it. I don't know. I think it's for me. It's still, like I said, it's too early. I know I would, like you said, I would want to know prior to. I mean, I would pick up my team prior to the combine. I'll probably pick my team prior to the combine for sure. But right now, the combine is not until April. Or no, that's the draft.
The draft.
No, the combine is the combine is in March. Time frame. Yeah,
I think by April they have to. April is also a time which they have to see if they're going to pick up, or some people's contracts are going to be picked up. In which I think that's one of the main reasons why Jimmy Garoppolo's gone. He's $26 million against the cap. If they don't pick up his contract, then they got to release him, and he's another. Right. He becomes another quarterback. I
don't know, little bro. I might want to go. I don't know, man. They ain't got a bad squad over there. In regards, if you talking about but Minnesota got a dome. I was about to say in regards to the weather, but no, they got a dome, don't they?
Yeah, they got a dome. Yeah, they play in a dome. Remember, they just repaired. They just
repaired it because that snow dropped and fell through the roof a couple of years ago. Yeah. So yeah, Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to Minnesota because they got weapons over there. So I wouldn't mind going over there.
So of course we come to an unfortunate part.
What's wrong? Nothing's wrong with New Orleans. That's why I said Campbell. I couldn't pick it. Nothing's wrong. The thing with New Orleans, they ain't got a head coach yet, and I understand that they ain't got a head coach. But then we don't know what they gonna do with the quarterback situation in regard. You still got to get to the dome though. You stupid. You right. You do got to get to the dome. Facts. I still got to go through that weather to get to the dome. You absolutely correct.
No, just go ahead. Don't retract. Just go ahead. You know what I'm saying? A helicopter drop off.
Yeah, something. Yeah, something.
Put that in your contract. Like, hey,
yeah, you got to drive. You got to fly me to the dome every day for the games or whatever. But you're right. Nothing's wrong with New Orleans, Calvin. I'm not saying there is. But I don't know, man. That's why it's hard for me to pick right now because I don't know. I don't know yet.
Well, you pull this up. So Bishop, you know what I'm saying, you hit me up over the weekend after the first game in which
after your first loss. Let's not
minimize it.
Yeah, let's not what we not gonna downplay what actually how and when I contacted you. Let's keep it 100. After your first loss in the Cincinnati and Kansas City game, I contacted you, correct? And I felt like you wasn't going to answer the phone, but you did. You did.
You know what's funny?
And he's laughing as I'm calling. And
I'll be honest. I didn't expect the phone call for the Bengals game. I expected the phone call for during the 49ers game, which I did not get. Like it was a few people that messaged me.
I know. No, I wasn't gonna call you because I knew I was gonna see you in the morning. So there was no need. I knew I was gonna see you this morning, so there was no need to really contact you for that game. I contacted you for after
you just want to hear. You just wanted all raw interaction when it came to that game, as opposed to
absolutely.
I get it.
Absolutely. I want the raw emotions on how you felt, all of that this morning. I didn't want to wait. I want that. I didn't want it early.
Yeah, I didn't want to. You want to snip it. You want to know.
Nope. I want it raw, uncut. Give it to me raw and uncut, baby. That's what I wanted this morning. The raw and uncut version. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
So like as I was saying, we had a slight conversation when Cincinnati was able to be victorious.
Upset Kansas City. That was an upset.
If you haven't seen yet, the Cincinnati Bengals 13-7, if you want to say that, in the 20 games. To point out, 20 games this NFL season with one more to go. Cincinnati Bengals travels over to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs. You know what? This is what, and then we talked about. Now, this is one thing we did agree upon.
What's that?
That Patrick Mahomes gets the majority of his playmaking comes from backyard ball, i.e., broken plays, running around, finding the open person, and getting them. Which his offense or the players' personnel, which he has, is built for him to be successful in this manner. Ron, welcome back. Let me know if you agree with what it is we're talking about. I think Bishop agreed with me a little bit. This is probably the only thing we agree with in the part of this game, is that Patrick Mahomes basically lives off of broken plays, running around in the backyard and completing a pass all day long. And we know there's no defense in which could defend that. Do you agree?
Do I agree that there's no defense that can defend that? No, that's not true, because obviously that happened. They did defend that to win.
Well, I'm talking about, he doesn't do it all the time is what I'm saying, but when that's basically when he's successful.
He does it a lot though.
Yeah, he does it a whole lot. It has to be a whole lot if you can notice it. So it's hard to defend against a broken play for the most part. So, but in any case, the Bengals took on the Chiefs, traveled over to Kansas City, and to play for the chance to go to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was 26 of 39 for 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jerick McKinnon, 12 rushes for 65 yards. Travis Kelce, 10 receptions for 95 yards. Tyreek Hill, 7 for 78. Both of them had a touchdown apiece. While Joe Burrow was 23 of 38 for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Joe Mixon, 21 carries for 88 yards.
Boomer Sooner.
Joe Burrow contributed with 5 rushes for 25 yards, but what we did not expect.
Go ahead. You better be saying it right now. Go ahead.
What we did not expect is T. Higgins with 6 receptions, 103 yards. Jamar Chase, 54 yards, 1 touchdown.
You better recognize that other boomer sooner, bro. Samaji P. Ryan. Samaji got in the end zone too. 2 boomer Sooners in the backfield was doing a thing for them Bengals. Don't sleep on that. Boomer Sooner. Don't you do that. Don't you disrespect the Big 12 like that and not recognize them 2 boomer Sooners back there doing their thing. Do you
think anyone really cared that Samaji P. Ryan scored the touchdown?
He scored the first.
This is Bishop's Day, Trey. You see, you guys
that part, Ron.
Just let him have his moment.
That part, Ron. Let him know. Don't y'all sleep. We got 2 former Sooners heading to Super Bowl 56 as a tandem in the backfield, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
See, Bishop, you drinking the Kool-Aid because you don't realize that what's going on, that Ron is basically setting for the table because he's the only one that's currently on this panel that has a team that's in the Super Bowl. So he's setting the table because Lord knows what's going to happen. That wall back there, it might be like the whole roster for the Rams come Super Bowl Sunday, and if they end up getting the W. But okay, Ron, I got you, man. I got you. Yes, time will tell. Gentlemen, what stood out in this game what was the most surprise besides the win?
This right here. I'm finna put it up for y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Ron and Trey. You already know I couldn't wait for this morning. Exactly, right? You couldn't wait. Hold on. This is what y'all want to hear. Right here. That right there.
That was the determining factor.
That right there, baby. That right there says it all. That right there says it all.
What was
the whole second half? He was 8 for 18 for 55 yards.
Oh, they was pressured. 4 sacks on the game.
Yes, sir. He didn't get sacked the entire first half. The second half, they came back. I'm gonna be honest with you. To be honest now, Joe Burrow gave them an opportunity. There was a point in that game. There were points in that game when Joe made you know he was a second-year rookie. He was doing things that he was trying to force passes that he should not have been trying to force. There was passes that he was really he was doing a little too much. And I will say their defense came through for them in the end to get them where they were. It seemed like he was it was the first half too, LeBron. I'm gonna be honest. I felt like he was doing it in the first half. Now the things that made
it showed in the first half. It's the reason the 21-3 drubbing in the first half.
Well, it was 21-10 at halftime, right? It was 21-10 at halftime. So and then Kansas City was getting the ball. Now Kansas City made a huge mistake by driving down and not getting any points before the halftime. They was in position to at least get 3. My personal opinion, that was a dumb move by Andy Reid. Take the 3. You get in the ball after the second half. You have an opportunity to score at least 10 points. So take the 3. Don't try and be greedy and get the 7. He had Patrick threw the ball to Tyreek Hill out in the flats. And the thing about Tyreek Hill is fast. But the downside to Tyreek Hill is small. It doesn't take any. He's not bulldozing nobody over. He's not. And you seen as old boy, what's his name?
Was it Apple?
Apple White slung him down like a rag doll. It didn't take nothing. Tyreek Hill didn't have enough space to try and put him on a move to try and get to the corner to get in the end zone. So he's not finna truck you over. Tyreek is not finna truck nobody. He's not finna do none of that, bro. All he's gonna do is try his best to outmaneuver you and then outrun you. And so, me personally, I felt like that's where Andy Reid made his biggest mistake in not trying to at least put points on the board before the half. At least put them 3. Get them 3 and be happy with it. You getting the ball second half. And then the whole second half, Patrick Mahomes, I felt like showed like he was a rookie in a way because he was forcing stuff. That last interception that was that Cincinnati had, he tried to force that to Tyreek. There was a man over top and underneath. And the dude that played defense over top played phenomenal defense. He had got his hand in there and was able to make a play, and the old boy underneath was able to catch the interception on the tip drill. There it is. There it is, bro.
Ron, what was your points of that you basically think the game turned and it was no coming back?
That was an excellent game breakdown, Bishop. Like you pointed out, to end the second quarter, them not getting any points.
Those points. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the moment that happened, I was just like, there it is. That's the key to see how this game is going to be trending. And I know in the first half, Kansas City was really playing some smart ball. They were taking what the defense allowed them to do. They weren't forcing anything.
Right.
And they started getting tight, clearly, in the second half, and feeling Joe Burrow's comeback emerging. They started doing things a little bit differently. But to fast forward, Mahomes getting the ball and to start overtime and not scoring and ending the game, at the end of the day, Mahomes got the ball first in overtime and did not handle his business.
Oh yeah, he was on the cusp.
He did not.
3 passes, 2 passes almost intercepted, and then the last pass intercepted. Definitely, yeah.
I mean, be honest. I want to know y'all from both of y'all. Did y'all, when y'all saw that it was going into overtime and the coin toss happened, and y'all saw that the Chiefs won? Did y'all think the Chiefs won the toss? Did y'all think the Chiefs was going to win the game?
I thought the Bengals was about to be going home to the couch imminently. I thought it was about to be over in 2 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. Where's Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
So we got to give our salutations to the Bengals defense.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, 100%, bro. They did what they had to do. They
put that pressure on Mahomes where he wasn't clean in the pocket to get those passes off, because all three of those passes was horrible. Like it should have been. It was just bad. Like
it was.
He wasn't. It was like he wasn't ready for that moment at all. Like he hadn't been to 2 Super Bowls.
But I was just telling somebody here who was watching the game with me, one of my friends here at the house watching the game. I said before the game started, I said, watch this game in how Kansas City won, but it's going to be with Cincinnati winning. I said it's going to be identical in what happened the week prior with Kansas City winning, but only difference is it's going to be Cincinnati winning with a field goal. I almost seen that coming, especially once I seen that he threw that pick. I was like, oh yeah, the Bengals got this. It's over. Oh boy, what is he, 12 for 12?
Oh yeah, I was about to say that makes sense. So it gives them, hey, when it makes sense, sometimes to draft a kicker. Like if you, they make points, they get points too.
They do. It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. And I mean, mad shouts out to Kansas City, the Kansas City fans. I mean, they like Ron said, you can't say it any better. It was a great game. A great game. I expected that game to be like that. I thought it was going to be a bit more high scoring than that. I really thought, I'm going to be honest, and I know y'all probably thought the same thing I thought the way Kansas City came out, I thought they was finna run through these boys. I thought they was really about to run through these boys.
They was scoring.
They was moving the ball too easy.
They was doing what they wanted.
They was moving the ball easy. Like the first, they stopped Cincinnati on the very first drive, and then they moved the ball flawlessly. Easy touchdown. And then they couldn't stop Kelsey. Kelsey was still getting wide open. They couldn't stop Kelsey. It was just like, man, like what like did y'all even come to play Cincinnati? And like I said, in the beginning of the first half, I was looking at Joe Burrow like, man, I see you playing like a second year rookie. You're playing like you this is only your second year in the season. And then all of a sudden that second half, and they got that touchdown, and I was like, we got us a game here, y'all. We got us a game here. And all of
You
a
know,
sudden, that defense stepped up.
you know what I kept hearing? I just kept hearing Ron say, Joe Burrow does not lose big games.
It's hey,
Joe
hey,
Burrow. That's all I
proof
kept
is
on
in the
hearing.
pudding.
Joe Burrow does not
Proof is in the
lose
pudding.
big games.
Proof is in the pudding, bro. Proof is in the pudding. They even flashed back to when he won LSU. Like there was a play in which he did the same thing against Alabama that he did against what you call yesterday, where he had to almost got sacked and he ran out the pocket and made a huge against
Yeah.
Alabama. He made a huge play down the field with a throw. In this game, he actually ran for the first down. Like, bro, Joe, when it comes to big games, when he gets the spotlight is on Joe, he gonna show you, hey, y'all saw his bling? Y'all seen his bling?
Yeah, there's like I seen a meme that said they should have knew the game how the game was gonna go when how Joe came into the stadium this
He
morning.
had his little mink on. He had his little mink on, and then he had JB9, his little bling JB9 on his chest. And he was like, he told everybody, it ain't fake. I make too much money. It ain't fake. It's real. It's real. I want y'all to know it's real.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he's nice with it.
So it's definitely, you know what I'm saying, shout out. And like I said, they had a plan. They limited Jamar Chase a little bit, but Higgins, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Higgins.
Higgins did
He
his
kept,
thing.
yeah, he showed, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm a number two, you know, but I, you know what I'm saying, don't discredit me. I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Higgins did his thing. I can't front. Higgins came out and played ball, and he needed to. He needed to because they like you said, they kind of put Jamar Chase on the island and kind of left him there, and then really Jamar had a couple of catches that was
Yeah.
key. That was
6
key.
receptions, 54 yards, a
Yeah,
touchdown, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, but T Higgins, same amount of receptions, double that. So
yeah.
he evidently he was eating.
He
And then of
was.
course mixing, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. He didn't get 100, but he had the 88 effective yards. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was key. He was key too, especially at the end when they needed him at the end to when over on the turnover. He almost broke it. If he hadn't tripped over his own man,
oh
he
yeah,
might have
yeah,
broken to
yeah,
the
he
end
was
zone on
gone.
that one.
Yeah, he was gone. Yeah.
He might have broke that one.
So yes, of course, you know what I'm saying. In other games during
One other game. Mm-hmm.
this conference championship, the Los Angeles Rams played host to the San Francisco 49ers. So as we all know, San Francisco it was 6-0 in the last 6 games in which they faced the Rams, and the 7th time was on the biggest stage in which it could have been, in which the 49ers was not able to get the W. It was a defensive game. In this instance, me and Ron had a little back and forth banter in reference to it, especially down towards the stretch while both teams were still tied. He asked me how was I feeling about it. Our boys is battling, and of course, my response was, "I don't have a warm and fuzzy." It wasn't, you know what I'm saying. What I realized is the number 10 is not a lucky number for the 49ers. They was up by 10 going into the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl against Kansas City, and we all know the outcome of that. They were up by 10 going into the fourth quarter versus the Los Angeles Rams, and we all know the outcome of that. Jimmy Garoppolo was number 10, and we all know the outcome of that. So,
Oh, let's put this up there. It's one other thing you don't know. Probably. Mm-hmm. Just in case you didn't know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 53-0 in fourth quarter last 3 playoff appearances. 53-0. He's allowed 53 points in the fourth quarter in the last 3 playoff appearances. 53 to 0.
so it just becomes one of those things in which, you know what I'm saying, it's unfortunate. But, you know what I'm saying, like I said, the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, 16 for 30, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Debo Samuel, 7 carries for 26 yards. Eli Manuel, 11 carries, 20 yards. So the run game was minimized. Debo Samuel's 4 receptions, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. George Kittle, 2 receptions, 27 yards, 1 touchdown. Uh, the Rams, Matt Stafford, this shows why he was brought to Los Angeles. 31 for 45, 337 yards, two touchdowns, one interception. Cam Akers, 13 carries for 48 yards. Sonny Michelle, 10 for 16. But of course, that man, what's the crown he wear, Bishop?
That triple.
That triple crown, 11 receptions, 142 yards, two touchdowns. Odell Beckham showed with the puns. I see you. That's what's up. Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham. 9 receptions, 113 yards. It's just it was no answer for it. They did exactly what they needed to do. They exposed the offense, the defense. They limited the defense to getting to Stafford for the most part. And then they stopped our run game for, you know what I'm saying, 40 yards rushing. Like,
I'm gonna tell you to be honest, God truth, man. When they showed that Aaron Donald was on the sidelines and he rallied that defense together on the sideline, I knew it was a wrap for the 49ers. I knew it was a wrap. He rallied he brought all the defensive players in and he gave
yeah,
them
he's
a
like
pep talk
five,
like it was
five,
before the game.
trying to get Ramsey. He's like five, five, five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was trying to get everybody be like it was right before the game. He's like, look, we here now. This is it. This is the second half. It's time. We got to take over this game. We got to do what we got to do to get to the ship. And that's when I knew then it was over. Because he was gonna make it some things happen. Because he was quiet. Aaron Donald was quiet for the most part of that whole game. For the most part, Aaron Donald was quiet. So was Von Miller. Patrick Ramsey wasn't doing a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Debo was running ragged. Like Debo was running hard. He was running real hard. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, trucking people. He was
trucking
like,
people, all of that. Yeah, he was carrying people, big linebackers. He carrying them 2 and 3, 4 yards down. Like he was doing his thing. And my heart goes out to Debo, man, because Debo, you could tell the disappointment on his face when that game ended. But I completely salute OBJ for going over there and comforting that man, knowing that he's a younger player, and up and coming future star, and going over there and consoling him on the sidelines. You know what I'm saying? That shows the type of person in which OBJ is. But when right there, it says it all. His cup runneth over, bro.
Ryan,
11 catches for 142 yards, bro, and 2
Ryan,
touchdowns.
Being that this is your team, we would like to give you the floor to say what it is that you need to say.
I was actually disappointed in the Rams yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, great win, of course. I was rooting for the over. They needed to score only over 40 points for the game for me, and they struggled to do that. It was a very low scoring game. Why was that? Horrible interception in the first quarter by Matthew Stafford. The Rams had the ball and had over 100 yards and was moving it. And then you go look at the score and it's 0. Real shaky. As always with Matthew Stafford, it's like he always has that one half where it's just like he didn't put it together. But then he usually bounces back, whether it's the first or the second half. He really needs to clean it up because I don't think he's going to be able to get away with these mistakes when he goes against Mr. Thorough Burrow. I don't know how I feel about the matchup between the Rams and the Bengals because, as we have seen, Thorough Burrow does not lose these big games, and he just really took down the king of the playoffs, Mahomes. It's going to be easy to say, yeah, the Rams outmatch the Bengals, but I don't know. Joe Burrow has given us the entire world, pause. And both defenses are good, most definitely.
So the point at which I think it was the turning point for me, or the point at which I thought it was over, bruh, is when Tart dropped that easy. You can't get no easier than that. When he dropped that interception, when we were still up,
that was in his hands. That was in his
in his
hands.
hands. Like he can't get no easier than that. Once he dropped that, I was like, man, yep. I was
It's
like,
over.
it's over.
Yeah.
It's like all that.
Yeah.
That's like the
That,
deflation. That was the point to sit up and apply pressure, and you know what I'm saying, and crack a couple of vertebrates, and you know what I'm saying, maybe a windpipe. You know what I'm saying. That was that point in which we could apply pressure and be like, even if we would have went down and scored, like it's like when when McVay spent his last time out on that silly challenge. I was like, oh yes, they ain't got no more timeouts.
stupid. That wasn't silly. That was downright dumb. And I almost wanted to call you, Ron, and say, "What in the hell is Sean doing? Why would he call it dumb? Why would you?" The whole time before the commercial, I was like, "Sean, don't you throw that dumb flag? Don't you throw that red flag? It's clear that he did not get that first down. Don't you do that?" I said, "You big dummy, don't do that. Do
It was
not
at
throw
that
that
point.
flag."
It was at that point in which you knew he was grasping at whatever he can because he was feeling
Trying,
it slip
he
through his
reaching.
hands.
He was
He was
reaching.
reaching. And I even said that
He was
he's
reaching.
reaching. At
He's
that
reaching.
point, all pressure should have been applied. We should have went
Mhm.
ahead and even maybe tried for the it was at that point I was like, come on, man. So I was like, okay, 5 minutes to go. They ain't got no timeouts. All we got to do is get a couple of first downs.
I truly believe Sean McVay really was trying to lose that game for them. I really believe that, Ron. I true in my heart, bro. I really feel like he was really trying to lose that game for the Rams, bro.
Yeah,
I honestly got to say that.
complete loss. I don't know what he was doing. Think it was just he was just getting tight. He felt the game slipping away from him, and we still held it. We held on though.
But y'all knew, but Ron, he had to know that y'all had the best player on the Rams team on the field, and that was Jimmy G. Jimmy G is the Rams' best player. Jimmy G is the Rams' best player. That's all we had to do. We be honest, Ron. Be honest. This game, and y'all, I know Trey may not agree, but Ron, and I know all football analysts gonna say this game between the 49ers and between the Rams was a game where this game was the deciding the winner of this game was going to be decided by which quarterback was going to make the mistake. Which quarterback was going to give up the game. That's what it was about, man.
So let me ask you guys this. So one thing I knew is that pressure applied at that point for Jimmy G was going to be the damage situation. Less than I don't know how the hell we ended up being on the opposite side of the timeouts. We started with 3 timeouts. Why was it that the pressure was applied for us to waste our timeouts when they didn't have a single timeout in 5 minutes left in the game? But that's what we was left with. But I knew once they got that field goal, we got the ball back with less than a minute, less than 2 minutes, that was a pressure point in which Jimmy G might not be able to withstand. And it showed because then what started happening, all game long, we had no problems with pressure from the front for the Rams front 4. Now everyone is like there's a leak in the faucet, and it's going all over the floor. Jimmy slipping all over the place. He can't get
Jimmy
away.
let him do it in my smoky voice. Jimmy let him do it.
So
I hear you,
it was at that point in which I realized that it was a situation that we wasn't going to be able to overcome. But let me ask you guys this: would y'all had taken the sack or attempted to throw the pass?
Boy, I knew you was gonna ask that question, Trey. To be honest, this morning, I knew it because that's a big question which everybody's kind of like contemplating and talking about. That's a hard question to answer, bro.
Because truth be told, even though it was an
That's
expected pass, it was a pass. He did get it to his hands. It may not have been in the most ideal spot, but he did put it in Elijah's hands.
Right.
Elijah tips the ball, and then it becomes an interception.
Tip drill. Yeah. I don't know,
But
man, because it was already wasn't it already like 3rd and 13? So
it was
for
3rd
him
and 13. So to take the sack, we would have probably put it at 4th and probably 27, 30 something or like that.
Yeah. So it was a lose-lose situation. If he took the sack, it would have been probably virtually impossible for y'all to get the first. And then for him to try and create something, I totally understand, because if it was Patrick Mahomes and it would have happened, everybody would have said, that's Patrick Mahomes, that's Patrick the Great. You know what I'm saying? Because of being able to think on his on the run and be able to flick the ball out and try and make something happen. I do believe Eli jumped too soon. In regards to try and catch that pass from Garoppolo. But I don't know if you eat that as a quarterback, man. Do you eat that sack? I know a lot of times they tell you as coaches, as offensive coordinators and quarterback coaches, take a sack and live the play for the next down. Don't turn the ball over. But still, for me, man, I don't know, bro. For me, I just say you gotta, I don't know. That's hard. I don't know, Ryan. Would you take the sack or would you did what Jimmy did?
You gotta risk it to get the biscuit. I know you play smart, you live to play another down, but and the NFC Championship game on the line, fourth quarter, I think you got to try and sling that rock and make something happen. Which
You think so? You think he was warranted in trying to kick it out? Because technically, he probably should have been called a sack down because it looked like he was almost perpendicular with the ground when saying. So I don't even know how the hell he got the pass out, but he got the pass out
because
Donald
only had his
legs.
The way Jimmy spent. Well, no, not only that, but no, John, he didn't even have his legs. The reason why he was able to get it out because he had Garoppolo's jersey, so he was pulling him down by his jersey. So his legs was kind of still able to move in a way, but he was pulling him down by his jersey. So it happened that he was able to flick it with the right hand, flick it out. So he didn't really have him in the grass to call him down, which was good on the officials for not calling him down. But at the same token, like I do have to, I feel like Ron at that point, man, you try to do whatever you can to make something happen at that point, because right now, at that point in time of the game, it was crucial. And I don't think it was third down. I think it was second down. Actually, it was 2nd and 13, and was about it. It would have been third.
No, it was third. It was because he had just got. I think he had just got. So he had no choice but to sit up and try to get it out. It wasn't one of those situations like you said. He had took it at that point. Now we're looking at 4th and forever to try to get a first down. Plus, saying the time and all that type of stuff. It was less than. It was the time was winding down. I think we only had one timeout left. So it was just a dismal. But it's like I said, it's like that. Definitely, I think the Rams was energized because all of a sudden that adrenaline pumped up and Aaron Donald started coming through the line. Oh no, it was what's the name got the sack the game the play before. I can't think of his name. Number 40.
Yeah. I know you talk about it was the sack because that's how they ended up 2nd and 13 was the sack.
13, yeah, he got the sack. He got the sack the play before, and then the following play, Aaron put the pressure on him, and that's what forced him to go running for his life. But he kept on instead of going to the sideline. It's like trying to turn up the sideline, get out of bounds. He was trying to still make it to where he can get away and open up to come back around to get a pass out, and it just didn't work out in our favor. And then of course the tip drill. And saying at that point, it's like it was down the drain after that. But so for my turning point was that missed interception by Tart.
That was key. That was crucial. Today, I can only imagine how he feels.
Oh, he came on instead yesterday. He's like, that was on him. He's like, it was on him. And then, of course, Kittle being a teammate, he said, let's not forget, what he did in the Green Bay game that put us in position to be playing this game. So he's like, he played hard. So
yeah. But my question for you is this question for both of y'all.
Yes.
Yep. Y'all think so?
Yeah. He's a cap. Saying they ain't bring Trey Lance there for nothing, and he's in the cap. So I don't think Jimmy was a bad quarterback. I just think he's more of a game manager. He's a game manager, and so when he's in position, if he's in position to manage the game, then he's he's cool. But when pressure starts to be applied, it goes awry, and then we've seen this consistently. Like yes. He took the 49ers in the last 4 years. He's taken the 49ers to 2 NFC championship games. He's taken them to 1 Super Bowl. He's lost the Super Bowl. He's He's 30. He's 6-2 all time as a 49er quarterback in the playoffs. He's 33 and what 33-4. I mean for 33-14 as a starter all time for the 49ers. Like saying that's not bad, but it's just saying he it's one of those things like how they say you can get us there, but you can't get us over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying? And that maybe that's what it comes out. Maybe y'all
He gets
experience the
that
same thing
title.
with Philly. Yeah, maybe it's the same thing y'all experienced with Philadelphia. Like Wentz could get y'all there, but maybe he couldn't get y'all over the hump. But who Foles was able to get y'all over the hump. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just one of those things. Like I'm saying, my hats off to him. The time that he was there, greatly appreciated. Now we get to
So
see
you
is it
feel
going to
like
be a
he was like the Matthew Stafford in Detroit.
Yeah, he could get it. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got to think,
Mm-hmm.
Matt didn't get no one anywhere. But you know what I'm saying? But we know what you had in Matt. Hence the reason why he's in LA. Like,
Right.
let's be honest, we wanted him in San Francisco. So it's like, at the end of the day,
Mm.
it's like,
Oh, just
you,
imagine now if it was flipped and Matthew was in San Francisco and somebody else was being the quarterback of the Rams, would it have been a total different outcome? And would Matthew have got
I,
over the hump still being
Ron,
in
let me
San
know
Francisco?
if you agree or not. If that was the case, if Matt had been in San Francisco, I don't even think LA is in that position.
Oh wow. Oh
I
wow.
don't even think what I'm saying. I think we would because also what I'm saying when you look at it, remember I said I wanted Tampa as opposed to I wish Philadelphia would have won their game. I did not,
Against
say in
Tampa
any
Bay?
case,
Against Tampa
yeah,
Bay?
because
Mhm.
I did not want LA. I wanted I would have preferred Los Angeles had lost to Tampa Bay because I wanted Tampa. That was a better situation for us as
Oh,
opposed to
okay.
getting. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That was an easier situation. Tom Brady without weapons,
Right.
that was a
You
better
felt like
situation.
that gave y'all a
Yeah,
better chance,
yeah, that
and
would have been.
that's what I was saying on Sunday, on Friday. I was like, I just didn't see
The
the
Rams is a
49ers.
bad matchup for us.
Yeah, I just didn't see the Rams falling to the 49ers because all the 49ers really had was Debo. It purely showed in that game.
That
All
they
they had
seen
Debo and
two
Kittle.
times already. Like you say,
Right.
at some point and which they did, they
Which
locked him
they was
down.
running, which San Francisco was dominating. They beat them every time they seen them until then.
yes. Until then, so
Until
you know, what I'm
yeah.
saying you seen a man 3 times in 1 year. Like you got to the third time when it's for the marbles, you got to be able to figure out like we got to stop him,
Mhm.
and which they did. 27 for 26, and then 72. Like they did exactly. They put the clamps on Kittle. Or you know what I'm saying, or the game plan wasn't to kill it. I don't know how the hell that happened, but it did.
But then
So
let
you know
me
what I'm
ask,
saying,
but then Trey, how do y'all allow Cooper Cup to could be wide open like he was?
you can't. I mean, it's Cup. Like
He's
this
wide
man
open.
showed it. Like this man showed why he is the best receiver in the NFL this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He do
Absolutely.
exactly that. If anything, you know what I'm saying, Tart, you know what I'm saying, Matt Stafford did what he did to freeze him. That one, I wish Tart would have at least made a better attempt at getting to the ball. Like he's he was just a little late on that corner on that post corner to the right corner in the end
Going right
zone.
corner. I know which one you're talking about.
He
Where he
was
was
just
underneath. He was
yeah,
underneath.
he was just because he said he held him there. He held him where he because they had two, so he held him there. And let's not forget the dude, the wide receiver from Notre Dame that went straight up the field and where they had to decide to go with Cup or go with him. And
Mhm.
everybody went with Cup.
Cup.
No one
Yeah,
and the
because
ball
Cup brings that went right up. Yep.
he went to the left. He went out on the out, and my man came continue up the scene, and he was wide open in the end zone with you know what I'm saying with a defender trailing because everyone went with Cup. Like you know what I'm saying, like Cup. He proved, in my opinion, he's that man. Like currently, at least for this season, he proved like you know what I'm saying he was the problem. Triple crown. That's what
For a
is you know what I'm
reason.
saying what it is.
For a reason, bro. For a reason. He was
So
that dude, man. And I, for me, we was sitting here watching and was like, how does Cup get that wide open? But at the last touchdown in which Cup caught, and they showed exactly what he did, man. He beat him off the line, and that dude that couldn't check him from the line. And once Matt seen that Cup's left shoulder was past the defender, that's when you throw the ball. Because by that time, you've beaten that defender. You've beaten that defender. You've gotten that shoulder past him, and once you've done that, it's a wrap. It's a
yeah,
wrap.
they try to rely on Williams as best they can. He had certain instances, but to Williams he's not Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? Even Ramsey has problems at times. So it was just a situation where it just was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Shouts out, you know what I'm saying? Ron and the Rams, they did
They
exactly
made it
what they
happen. They made it
yeah.
happen, man. They made it happen. And it makes for a great Super Bowl. I'm not gonna lie. It makes for a great Super Bowl between, and also Ron, help me if I'm not correct. Help me if I'm not wrong though. Hey, sir, that pretty much solidifies what we were saying in regards to the no, actually it goes against what I said, because I had, in regards to quarterback, I had Garoppolo, Stafford, and then I said Mahomes and Burrow could be interchangeable. But now it's Burrow, Stafford, or is it Stafford, Burrow, Mahomes, and Garoppolo? Where does it stand now after seeing the NFC AFC championship game in regards to quarterback in a team? Ron, you muted, just so you know.
I didn't even realize that. I feel like Mahomes is in his own class, but Burrow is right there. Right there.
Stafford or Mahomes?
Burrow's right behind Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like Burrow? You don't feel like Matt did enough to surpass Burrow?
No.
No.
Matt is doing everything that he is being asked of, and he doesn't have to be the main reason the Rams win, because they're so built at every position for the most part. Meanwhile, Burrow has to be the guy for Cincinnati to make it to this point where they're at.
Okay.
Do y'all think? Do you think Apple's going to be enough to lock down Cooper?
No, you can't lock down Cooper.
He's just all he's going to eat. You
Not.
just got to stop everybody else.
Yeah,
And
you said
and it's gonna be hard to do that with
Because
Odell
after the
Beckham
Beckham just had, for
and
real.
Higby
And you
too.
got to think Higby was out, but my man, the tight end, came in and he did
Blanton,
what he, yeah.
Blanton, and then didn't Rams lose the tight end, or is
Yeah,
it
Higby.
Higby? That was Higby
He was
that
out.
went out.
He
Yeah,
was
that
out.
was
Yeah.
Higby. Okay, he went out with the injury, right? So Higby only had 2 catches, so he wasn't even a huge factor in that game. But Blanton came in and balled out. Blanton came in and got what he had 5 catches, 57 yards. So
Yeah. So you'll say, of course, with that, Bishop and Ron currently hold a slight edge over me.
Chiamo.
yeah, got him, coach. Let
You know,
go.
say it was a nice comeback. They went, you know, what I'm saying on the. It was like do or die. It's like, hey, we even gonna get these two, or we gonna get one, or we gonna get none. You know, what I'm saying it works in their favor. You know, what I'm saying I think this is one of the better NFL seasons. I mean NFL playoffs, where
Yeah.
all
Oh
the
yeah.
teams, for the most part, it was close games, and now we come down to an NF game in which, you know, what I'm saying, of course, we don't know how it's going to go at this point. I'm most like picking whatever. I'm not picking whatever they picking, opposite of whatever they picking at this point, in order to make
Good.
it
I
to
like
put
it.
a play out their playbook.
Ah.
If Ron had just went ahead and listened to me on his left shoulder, I wouldn't have this problem. But
Ron sure wanted to change his pick, man. He wanted to. He sure wanted to.
I mean, in hindsight, it was pretty close. Like the game did go to overtime.
It did. It did. It did. It did. Do
I
y'all
don't
see
know
this?
how.
What, Ron?
I said I still don't know how Mahomes does not win that game.
At
21 to
home.
10, bro. 21,
At
21
home.
to 21 to 10.
At home. On their
And
they
he
got
said it was
beat
on
on
him.
got beat on their own home field, bro. That's huge. Can you imagine all them Kansas City fans leaving the stadium upset?
So
Man,
let me ask. I mean, I know this is a what if, but do you think Buffalo loses this game if they was there? If Cincinnati had to have traveled to Buffalo, do you think we'll be talking about Buffalo as going to the Super Bowl, or do you still think Thorough gets it
bless you.
done?
That's hard. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because a lot of it is all depends on how well each quarterback plays. Josh plays as well as Cincinnati plays. I mean, not Cincinnati, but Joe
Buffalo.
Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say whether or not they could have came in Buffalo and did the exact same thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it was a do-over, I don't think Cincinnati could go in there and do it again in Kansas City on Kansas City's turf. If it was a do-over, I don't think Kansas City could go in there and do it again. No, I don't.
So one thing that did, as we transition to move on, one thing that did come about is Bishop. Kyrie over the weekend scored 32 points in the loss to Brooklyn. I mean to Golden State, but it was just Kyrie alone. James Harden was out.
You already know KD out,
and KD is out. So I'm not gonna say it's an excuse. Or Ron, is that excuse? Can't do it by itself? Is that excuse? Are we gonna buy that? We gonna let him live with that?
Yeah, Rom, you better let me live with that.
Nah, the Golden State Warriors got players out too. Draymond's out.
Steph ain't out.
Yeah, it was really a Steph versus Kyrie game.
Clay didn't play either.
Yeah, Clay played.
Oh, that's enough. With Clay, Draymond, I get it, but you got Clay and Steph playing against Kyrie by himself. Come on, man. Come on, man.
So we're sure that Kyrie was not the only professional player on the court.
What do you mean? All of them are professionals.
Exactly.
Oh, but
so that's why we cannot let you.
What you won't do, what you won't do, Trey. What you won't do, Trey. What you won't do is hasn't the Lakers lost without LeBron?
Yes, and I've never said that because of LeBron. That's why we lost.
But will y'all win more likely if LeBron's on the court and AD? As long as we ain't gonna count Russell because Russell is irrelevant. He's irrelevant, really. But let's talk about those two.
Wow.
Ron said, "Wow." I'm just keeping it 100, man. I'm just saying, Kyrie could not. Kyrie, he can't do it by himself, man. Really, if you look at the rest of the team, in which I get what you're saying, Trey, and they are professional players, but come on, man. Who? Patty Mills. I mean, who? Blake Griffin. I mean, come on, man. Who do we really have, bro? Like seriously, bro. Against the Warriors, the Splash Brothers. Come on, man. That's not even fair.
In the NBA.
Huh? Yeah, the best team in it. Yes. Come on, that's unfair.
So
I mean, some people argue that because of Phoenix, they on a 10-game winning streaks again for the second time this season.
So what we did have, however, is yesterday the Los Angeles Lakers traveled to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Hawks. The in the state 121-129. The Lakers fall to the Hawks. Malik Monk, a double effort, 33 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Was the leading scorer for the Lakers. AD followed with 27.5 rebound, 4 assists night. But of course, 36 points from Trey Lance, 12 assists, 5 rebounds.
Trey Young, you mean?
Correct. Trey Young. I'm sorry, Trey Young.
Mm-hmm.
And then John Collins contributed with a double, 20 points, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. That increased Atlanta's winning streak to 7 games. Again, LeBron was out this particular game because he was out back in LA. He didn't even make the trip as he was getting work done to his knee injury.
Mm-hmm. Russell knocked down 20 for y'all though.
Yeah, Russell
20 and 12 assists.
So 2 games in a row, Russell has got 20 points. I think the other night he got a triple-double, in which it was only him because AD wasn't there either. So he had an opportunity, just like we talked about James Harden the other day, whereas like James is saying KD's not there, Kyrie isn't there. This is your opportunity. This is why you're here. You're considered a
Mm.
superstar. This is why you're here. Same thing happened with Russell. He had an opportunity. He just didn't have enough. He was two. I think he was 5 4. He only had 5 points at the first half of that game last week.
Mm. Oh,
The night
okay.
before. And he only had 5. He ended up finishing with 32 points on the season on the night, but it wasn't enough to overcome the
To get the
deficit that
win.
they had. And then, not to
Right.
mention, in this particular game, in Atlanta games, Atlanta was down was down double digits, and ended
Yeah,
up
the
coming
point.
back to
Yep.
take the win. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's, you know what I'm saying, dismal. Uh, San
I
Francisco.
mean, you can't really say, I mean, well, y'all had what, 5 people in double digits, and one of them was Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench with 11.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. The Lakers fall to 24 and 27. 24 and 24 since their last game. They was 24 and 24 when they beat the Nets. Lost 3 games since. Atlanta improves 24
But in
and
that 3 games
25.
in which LeBron hasn't been there,
Correct. That is.
mm, so you go
It
back to what
is.
I just said a minute ago.
It
Do
was
they
one.
win
So
those 3 games? Do they win those 3 games if LeBron is there?
I would think at least 2 of them they would have won, but currently, like you said, there's I don't know. So you would think 2 of them they would have won, but again, if LeBron's there, then those points, those minutes are being eaten up by someone else, and those points are being eaten up by someone else. But
But
you know, say
the
of
but
course.
what points are being eaten up? Because if you look at the Lakers game between the game between the Hawks, the only who would eat who points are you eating up? Carmelo's 11, because that's a
So
lot.
we know we I don't foresee Malik Monk scoring 33 in
But
that case if
okay,
LeBron's playing.
facts, facts, facts. Right.
So he's not gonna get his. Carmelo's probably gonna get his. So it's a possibility that they would have won. It probably and because you even if you split that to
But
where Monk
do
Monk
Russell
gets
still get his
15,
20? Yeah, but do
I
Russell
think
still get his 20 though?
Russell
With
still gets his
LeBron
20.
on.
I think Russell still gets his 20. I think for a definitely there would have been that LeBron probably would have dropped 25, and then if you
Okay.
take Malik's points and half of that and give
Half
him
it put
about
at
15 or
15,
10,
16.
they
Yeah.
still they would have edged out the Hawks for the most
Okay.
part. I mean,
Okay.
so you know, what I'm saying it's just one of those things. Of course, like I said, they lost the other night. LeBron nor AD were there when they lost to hell, who did they play? I think Orlando or somebody like that. They took a L. They wasn't
Mhm.
there, so it's just one of those things. Of course, Phoenix Suns was down like in your area down in San Antonio.
Yep.
Took on the oh correction, San Antonio traveled to Phoenix to take on the Suns. San Antonio currently 19 and 32 because of a 110-115 loss to the Suns, who are currently 40 and 9. As Bishop stated, they are on their second 10-game win streak
Yep.
for the season. CP3, you know what I'm saying, doing what CP3 does. 20 points, 19 assists, 8 rebounds. The team was led by Devin Booker, 28 points, four rebounds, 1 assist, as well as Mikal Bridges contributing with 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist. The Spurs, another out in which they had about 5 people in double figures. They was led by Lonnie Walker, 22 points, 55 rebounds, 2 assists, and 24 points from Doug McDermott, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. As they continue, the woes continue. I wonder, is this a season in which we might see the last for Popovich? I know he doesn't like the losing, and I don't think he's up for another rebuild. I'd be interested to know if he's going to end up leaving at some point to go ahead and hand the reins over to another coach. Uh,
Mm.
the Utah Jazz played against went over to Minnesota. Minnesota currently 500 at 25 and 25. The Jazz are 30 and 21. The Jazz took a thrashing 106 to 126 from the Timberwolves. Jazz had contributions from Mike Conley, 22 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 23 points for Bojan Bogdanovic, 24 rebounds, and 1 assist. But the Timberwolves with a triple double, a 31-piece triple double with 31 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists from Carl Anthony Towns, 22 points from Jaden McDaniels, as well as 15 from Anthony Edwards. The Minnesota Timberwolves are showing that they're not just going to lay down because they're in a small market and they wasn't hitting on all cylinders. Now they're starting to start clicking. Additionally, you got 10 points apiece from Noel, Jalen Noel, and Teron Prince. Bishop, do you see potentially the Timberwolves climbing out of the play-in tournament and into one of those top 6 seeds to avoid having to go into a tournament?
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. The Big Cat is balling out there. Yeah, it's possible. I could see it. Yeah, I could definitely see it. The way they playing ball. I didn't see them blowing out the Jazz like that by 20. But they were on their home court, so I guess you kind of expected a good game, which I'm assuming it was a good game. I was watching football, so I didn't catch that game, but yeah, they definitely. I feel like they have the opportunity with the talent they have in Minnesota to maybe, miss definitely be able to make it.
Of course, the Portland Trailblazers took on the Chicago Bulls in Chicago. Chicago victorious, 14-point win. Portland falls to 21-29, and Chicago loses to 31-38. Portland was led by, of course, C.J. McCollum, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Anthony Simmons contributed with 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists as well. Norman Powell, 22 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists. The Bulls, their big three, all 20 points or more, as the team was led by Nikola Vucevic, 24 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists. DeMar DeRozan, 23 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds. And Zach LaVine, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Definitely a little too much for for Portland to handle, as they took the L. With all 3 back playing again. I know Lonzo is out currently, as well as Caruso. But do you think the Bulls get back on track, as I think they're 1 game out of the having the top record in the East? Do you think the Chicago Bulls are back on track and ready to push Miami for that top spot?
Absolutely. The Chicago, absolutely. I feel like that when it's all said and done, I think it's going to be after the playing turn. I mean, not the playing after the All Star
Break.
The All Star break. I think that's going to be when the Bulls are going to make that huge run to blow out the Trailblazers, which we know how McCall felt about the Trailblazers coach Dante. We know how he feels about the Trailblazers and stuff like that. But the Bulls, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan out there balling like they are, yeah, man, they definitely gonna make a huge push. They probably won't have to play in the play-in tournament because they're already what is their record? They're already
they're above
31-18. Oh yeah. They're
like I said, they're currently pushing they're currently pushing Miami for the top spot. The top spot in the playoffs. Top spot in the number 1 seed.
Oh, number 1 seed. Okay,
so,
in the East. Yeah. I
so
definitely see them.
Last night, Denver Nuggets traveled to Milwaukee, taking on the Milwaukee Bucks as they played host to the Nuggets. Nuggets victorious by 36 points, 28 drop, improving their record to 28-21. The Bucks dropped to 31-21 themselves. The Nuggets was led by Aaron Gordon with 24 points, 7 rebounds, no assists. He had a concerted effort. Nikola Jokic, the Joker, 18 points, 15 assists, and one rebound short of another triple-double, in which evidently they were hitting on all cylinders. Giannis Antetokounmpo led the Milwaukee Bucks with 29 points, 2 assists, and 9 rebounds. Only 3 other players in double figures: Holiday, Grayson Allen, and Bobby Portis, with 14 from Holiday, as 11 points apiece from Allen and Portis. They just didn't have enough last night.
Look at the Nuggets, man. They had almost 8 people in double digits.
They was clicking.
5, 6, almost 7. Oh no, 8, because Green had 9 and Howard had 9. They was 2 point away from double digits. So
they was clicking on all cylinders. Definitely a situation where it's like they came to play. They took care of business, got out of there. Of course, other games that happened yesterday, the Clippers.
That game was in Milwaukee, or was that game in Denver?
It was in Milwaukee.
They did that in Milwaukee?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that says a lot. That says a
Went to
lot. To beat them by 36 on their home
your home
court,
court.
that says a lot. Denver was about to be a force to be reckoned with, bro. That says a lot.
Other games last night, Clippers were victorious as they play as the Hornets played host to them, winning 115-90. The Cleveland Cavaliers went down to Detroit and took a L, losing 105-115. The Dallas Mavericks got beat by the Orlando Magic, losing by 2 points in a 108 to
That's a
110
shocker.
to 110. A definitely victory.
That's a,
And it like you said, definitely a shocker when it comes down to that. But the Dallas seems to be a lot of I say mediocre, but it seems to be a lot of that where these teams that we expect to beat people aren't handling the business as
that's
we thought
happening
they
a
should
lot
have.
this season.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? All these teams that we think these thought should have just been running amok, they're definitely not. It's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, just barely over 500, under
Mm-hmm.
500 at 500 teams. And those teams in which we thought were going to be very dominant. Of course, the slate for tonight, 8-game slate. The Pelicans travel to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers. Los Angeles Clippers will go to Indiana to take on the Pacers. The Philadelphia 76ers will host the
Ooh,
Memphis Grizzlies. That's going to be a
that's
heater.
probably the game of the night.
Sacramento Kings will be traveling to MSG to take on the New York Knicks. The Boston Celtics will host the Miami Heat tonight. The Toronto Raptors will be traveling to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. The Houston Rockets will be hosting the Golden State Warriors on the West Coast, and the OKC Thunder will play host as the Trailblazers come to town. Like you said, Bishop, definitely, I think
The
that game in
Sixers
the
and
night,
Grizzlies game.
Sixers and the Grizzlies,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
as we
definitely
see.
that game. And
Yes.
if that's a hard game. They playing in Philly too. But
Whew.
the way oh man, but so is Embiid. He's balling out right now. He is, but
This
he
is
is.
potentially what you're looking at as his
Yep,
MVP race heats up
yep.
head
These
to
two right
head.
head to head right here. Yep. But I'm still. You know what? I'm still gonna go with the Grizzlies though. I'm going with the Grizzlies. I'm gonna take the underdogs. I feel like they're gonna be the ones to come out of victorious. I'm definitely taking the Knicks. I'm gonna take the Clippers over the Pacers, and on the road, I'm taking the Cavaliers at home over the Pelicans. I'm taking the Celtics over the Heat at home. I'm taking the Hawks over the Raptors at home. That Thunder and Trailblazers, that could go either way, but I'm gonna take the Thunder at home, and I'm definitely taking the Warriors on the road against Houston.
I think we kind of, in some cases, like I believe Cavaliers is not going to lose to the Pelicans at home, although the Pelicans have been coming on pretty strong this season.
Right, right.
The pace, however, I do think the Pacers get the Clippers at home. That I'll come back to that one game. The Knicks, Sacramento. I mean, it's Sacramento, but
Buddy
the
Hill,
Knicks ain't been
but
into.
Buddy
Yeah,
Hill ain't no joke though. Buddy Hill do ball out. I ain't gonna lie. Buddy
I,
Hill is Buddy Hill versus oh boy.
I give it. I
I'm
give
taking the Knicks
this.
though.
Yeah, I take the Knicks in that. And if they're at home, I mean, I don't foresee them losing at home. Miami, I have Miami over the Celtics, even though Celtics are
What?
playing. Yeah, I think Miami's gonna come. They've done the business and did the due
Tyler
diligence to be.
Hero and them gonna come in and
Yeah,
spoil it for the Celtics.
it's gonna be at home, but it's gonna go ahead. It's their home now. They're the captain now. Uh, the Raptors, I just think it's an off season for them, even though they did have a stunner the other night with a triple overtime.
Yeah.
But saying they might still be spent a little. So
Mm-hmm.
I would think Trey gets his eighth win of the
Mm-hmm.
season. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
eight win.
Put
Correction,
him at
his eighth
500.
win streak. Yeah, to
Yeah.
put him at 500. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, the Thunder. I'll
Yeah.
give them the edge at without Dame there,
Yeah.
even though
Until Dame come
CJ's
back,
back.
trail on.
Yeah,
Yeah. Until
yeah,
Dame
which
come back.
I don't even think Dame's gonna come back this year. I think he's gonna go ahead and power it down. I know he was thinking about it. It depends on what the organization's gonna do. Of
Oh,
course,
okay.
like you said, the Rockets and the Warriors is gonna be hard to pick against the rest of the year. Even though we do
Absolutely.
know, saying certain things happen, but I
Right.
foresee that's gonna be a hard one to pick against for the rest of the year. But I take
Right.
the Warriors over the Rockets, and going back to the Grizzlies
It
and
was in
76ers.
76ers, boy.
I'm a
Embiid versus the young gun.
I'm not just a Ja fan for the most part. I'm a fan of the team in general. I think they
Right.
getting back to that
Memphis.
grit and grind, the
Mhm.
grittiness. Like the other night it was Showtime, even though it didn't count. But you know,
Right.
what I'm saying they got the block at one. Bang gets the block at one end. Uh,
Mhm.
Triple J pushes it up the court. Gives a lob to Morant, who catches it in windmill. Even though, Jackson the third got caught for offensive charging. But you know what I'm saying, they still got that it's just that grit. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
can't root against that unless you're going against your team. So I think I would like to believe that it's going to be a little too much for Philly, even though they're home, and Memphis will go ahead and get that win. So
Good pick. I think that's what I think. I think it just right now Grizzlies are hitting on all cylinders, man. Not taking nothing away from Philly, the 76ers, but the way the Grizzlies are balling, man, they on a mission. They are truly on a mission and should prove that they belong in the talks of contenders. So that's why I gotta go with Memphis, man, in this game. It's gonna be a good one. I'm definitely. Oh, I think I gotta call a game tonight. Good lord, I think I'm gonna miss this game. I'm gonna have to catch that one on the side or while during play. I only got one game to call tonight, so I don't know. But golly, I forgot about that. But yeah,
what you call it, intramurals or high school?
a youth. I think it's a
You
youth game today. Yeah, I think it's a youth game.
okay?
I don't know if it's middle school or what. Yeah, I'm about to look now. But yeah, I forgot that game is at. I think I called at 6:30 too, so I might be able to
Uh,
catch the very first bit of the game. But that's about
So
it.
as we get close to closing, this is I'll bring this up. So of course, Gerald Green, you know, what I'm saying the Jared with the bunnies, Gerald Green with the bunnies, basically stated that in 2018, that's the year that they were up 3-2 on the Golden State Warriors, and Chris Paul got injured
Mm, I remember that.
in that game. He basically stated that had Chris Paul not got injured, they would have won the championship. They was going to get a ring. He said they would have beat LeBron and Kyrie and them in the ship. Now, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying, I'll give you a rundown of what their roster consisted of that year. Carmelo Anthony, Clint Capella, Carter
Mhm.
Williams, Marquise Chris, James Ennis III, Kenneth Fareed, Eric Gordon, James Harden, Gerald Green, Nene Hilario, Isaiah Harnstein, who was a rookie at the time, James Nutley, Brandon Knight, Terrence Jones, Daniel House, Austin Rivers, Iman Shumpert, PJ Tucker, and Chris Paul was their roster that year.
Mhm.
Do you think there was some validity to what he's saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
I
I
think I
do.
think so. I think they
I
might
do.
have beat. I think they might have beat Golden State that year. I don't know
Mhm.
if they would have went on to win the championship though.
Mm.
But I think they could have beat Golden State that year. They was already up, like you said, 3-2, and
They
then
were.
Paul goes out with that hamstring, and they can say then that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally feel like they could have made. Yeah, they definitely could have made a run. Absolutely.
So it's crazy how you know what I'm saying a whole the injury or sickness can basically turn the whole season to where it's like now it's like man, this is what we was all cylinders cooking all cylinders, and now this is what we're faced with.
Right.
Do you think that I mean, of course, we know the pandemic is real. Do you think is a possibility that the the pandemic strikes and cripples a team or hurts a team in the Super Bowl or a key player that's not going to be able to play in the Super Bowl due to contracting the virus at that time? Do you think it's a possibility? Do you think that happens this year?
I don't know. It's definitely a possibility, but I would hope both coaches, Sean McVay, as well as the coach for the Bengals, try and do their best in their due diligence, as well as players to do their best due diligence to ensure that they stay safe as much as possible. But I know that's easier said than done because life has to go on. So there's a lot going on. But you still got to practice. They got 2 weeks. prior
Mm-hmm.
to, they got 2 weeks before the actual game.
And at
To
least a week before they got to be in LA to
right.
because the media day and all that type of
Well,
stuff. So
absolutely, media day, yeah, that all of that stuff. So, and man, you just
do
excuse me,
as a
you just
team
hope that doesn't happen with key players.
as a team leader, do you go forth and be like, hey, this
Oh
is what we
yes,
go, you know what I'm saying?
oh
Everybody,
yes,
like, you know what I'm
oh
saying? Like,
yes.
hey,
Team
can't
captains
do what we
definitely need
usually
to.
do.
Yes, Donald, all them. Hey, look, guys, look, check this out. We've made it to where we needed to make it. We got one game left to play. Being that we've made it, let's be smart. If I'm the captain, I'm gonna be like, let's be
Morning, Irma.
smart. Good morning, good morning. If I'm the captain, I'm talking to him. I'm telling him, hey, good. Let's be smart. Let's not make no foolish mistakes. I know we all know that and they've already stated, if I'm not mistaken, they've already stated there's a new variant already coming out
Is it?
of COVID. Yeah,
Wow.
they're already talking about a new variant already coming out. I don't know if anyone's caught it yet, but they've already spoke about a new variant. So with that, man, I would be, definitely do my due diligence as captain and try and say, hey, man, try your best to stay safe. If you don't
Stay
need to go out,
inside.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't need to go out, don't go out. If you got a you DoorDash or whatever, do that, man, to try and stay safe. For whatever, however, and let's try and get to Los Angeles. Only team that doesn't have to travel, of course, is the Rams. So it's Cincinnati that's got to make the trip. So Cincinnati's got to make that trip. So one team is traveling, one team is not. So unlike other Super Bowls, normally both teams got to travel to the Super Bowl destination. So that's an advantage for the Rams because they're not worrying about travel at all. So that's a huge factor. That could play a big part because Cincinnati has to get on a plane and take that trip. You know what I'm saying? Which means they got to go through all this. Well, they don't have to go through security because they got their own plane and stuff like that. But it's just the fact that they're in more contact with more people. I feel like, and they're out there in the element with against a lot of more people. Whereas the Rams, they're still at their normal facility, playing, practicing in their stadium or their practice field, so forth and so on. So, yeah, I just hope that nothing like that takes place to where key players or any players has to be sat down because of COVID protocol.
Mm-hmm. So of course, saying that's our time for today. We
Yes,
greatly appreciate y'all coming up. We got 2 weeks, 2 weeks
to
until
get
that
it out, figure it
until
out.
y'all to figure it out. In which I have some soul searching to do as I decide. Do I say it's like I mean at the end of the day, it's no soul searching. I whatever they pick, I'm going against. That's just it. That's no
There it
cap.
is.
Like whatever they pick, I'm
There
going
it
against. I
is.
have no choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of figuring out what they're picking, and which I believe I might know for the most part.
Does he? That's the question.
I think I know for the most part where you'll say for 2 weeks I get to kind of like watch mannerisms and conversation and kind of like try to see if I could see what I could do to maybe let's say talk, see what talk I could do to get them to pick, saying opposite of me, so that way I can go stay with the picking which I want, and then
Mm,
hope. But for the most part, I think I know which how Ron's going to pick, and presumably how Bishop's going to pick at the end of the
mm,
day. But
mm.
of course, we continue to look at that. Of course, as the NFL postseason comes to an end, there's still plenty of opportunities, still more talk. You got the draft coming up. We got the
Hold on, Trey. But who's the two winners that's in the left?
who's left for the last fan standing.
Yes, yes,
Oh
yes,
yes, yes.
yes.
So we have Key Williams, Key in the building for the Cincinnati Bengals, who represented by the Bengals, and then
Trey, is that Jerome Haywood? Is that
no,
Jerome?
he no, it was absolute was it's absolute
It's
Kevin
absolute.
Smith. Yeah, Jerome is 49ers were the one that would have been Jerome.
Oh, okay. I could have
So
sworn. I
it's
thought you. I
it's
thought I could
absolute.
have sworn you said last week. You was like, "I'm sorry, Jerome, you're not gonna win." But
You said
was that?
that.
Oh, that
You
was me
said
saying it.
that.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad, Kim. I tried to tell you, bro, you weren't gonna win that thing. I tried to tell you, you weren't gonna win that
So
thing.
currently, that's what it comes down to. Cincinnati Bengals represented
Key Williams
by Key,
and
and then Kevin Smith, represented by the Los Angeles Rams. That's what
Absolute.
it comes.
Look at this
That's what
dude,
it comes
bro.
down to.
Look at this
He
dude.
finds a way. He couldn't win our fantasy football.
Fantasy football. So he got
Yeah,
another
so
opportunity.
he has another opportunity to pull a
He
W.
got the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams is his.
Okay. Got the Rams, and Key got the Bengals. Ooh.
I'm trying to see what was your look on your face when you said that.
Rams, absolute Key Bengals. Key Bengals.
So of course, like I said, we have that. Of course, we got the free agency coming up. We got the draft coming up.
Combine.
Still combine, still plenty of content out there for the state talking about the NFL.
Right.
NCAA is getting close. March is around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how that go down.
You know, February is a short month.
Yes.
So March is around the corner.
Yes, March is around the corner. March Madness is coming up. You know what I'm saying? Men's and women, NIT coming up. February is here upon us. We got the, you know what I'm saying, the Winter Olympics. We got plenty of that. I don't know,
That's
Bishop.
Right. That's starting up in
been
about
looking
a week,
forward to the Olympics. So we get to talk about that. Sean White, you know what I'm saying? All that we'll get to know these stars from the Winter Olympics, as we really most times always put it more of an emphasis on the summer. But hey, we want to give love to the Winter Olympics. You got that coming up. Baseball, I don't know, Bishop. You know what I'm saying? The lockout's still on. I don't know how much baseball we'll be able to talk as it goes forward.
On?
Yeah, lockout's still on. The lockout's still on.
The lockout's
and they said,
they
said, and the owners are willing to continue to let it go, to miss out some days as it goes forward. So the lockout's still going. We got that. Maybe talk about some other things. As we know, I don't know, Bishop, I'm gonna give you one thing to take a look out. Buns and basketball. Go take a look at it, man. And we'll be a talk about buns and basketball. Buns and basketball. BUNS in basketball. We'll be able to talk about that a little bit. So yeah,
I don't even think I want to see that. To be honest with you,
you gonna want to see it, but you you'll want to see it.
Okay.
But you know, say take out that so we can have a word. So definitely, you know, saying, of course, if it's something with y'all, so we here for it. You know, saying to keep on giving y'all that our perspectives and, you know, saying the stuff. You know, saying not always our bias or anything like that. A lot of times, you know, saying we do our research to give y'all what y'all need for the sports. So, Bishop, any words before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man, just thank y'all so much, man. Yeah, for those that believed in the GOAT, I mean, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for, you know, listening to me. As y'all see, my team, the teams in which I said was going to be in Super Bowl 56, as you see in my background, are the teams that are in the Super Bowl 56. So, you know, the GOAT has spoken. You might want to be sure to tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 0900 to 1100 hours Central Standard Time. And for you for you non-military personnel, that's 9 o'clock to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, to find out for the next 2 weeks on what the GOAT will choose to be Super Bowl 56 champions. It's going to be interesting. We have 2 weeks, like Trey said. You know I got him, Freddie. You know I got him, Freddie. You know I got him. Hey, it's going to be interesting. We got 2 weeks to decide. Hopefully, you know, it won't be no crucial setbacks for either team. Hopefully each team will have, you know, their full roster to be able to compete effectively in the Super Bowl 56. But stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned, because we know Trey definitely has to pick against myself and Ron to be able to just tie us. So won't nobody win if he picks against us. But if he doesn't and he stays with us, of course, you know, the winner will be. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I might not do that. I might not do that, because if y'all do the same pick and I get it, I mean, no,
you still gonna be behind. Yeah. You have to pick against here. You're one game behind, sir. Yeah. That's why I said that. See how I got him real quick. Y'all see how?
You know what I feel like is going to happen? I'm going to let y'all know. I'm putting this out here now. So if it happens, y'all know I stated it first. Although I know there's a loophole for it. But this is what's going to happen. Bishop and Ron are going to get in cahoots together. And someone's going to fall on the sword for it just to keep me out. That's what's going to happen. Someone's going to throw on the sport for the other one because I can't. If they go opposite ways, I got to go with one. I can't go with a both.
Right. That's
So that's why I can
absolutely
see
right.
someone's going to
Ron could
fall
take
on the
over
sword.
if he go opposite of me. Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Or if he just say so, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. I'm just going to let y'all know now. What's probably going to happen is Ron's going to stay with his Rams, Bishop's going to take the Bengals, and it's going to, no matter, they'll say one of them is going to win just to keep me out. That's what's going to happen. We could just all get along. We could do like Pittsburgh. We could do like what should the Chargers and the Raiders should have did, and just went to a tie when we both go. That's what should happen.
That's what should happen. That's what it should have happened. They
should
just should have took a knee and just took the tie.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
went
So
to the
just took the
playoffs
15.
together.
All they did was 15 knees apiece, and they would have been good.
Yeah, take it. Yep, been done with.
But you know what I'm saying. But no, you know what I'm saying. So that's exactly what's going to happen. I already know. I see it coming.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying. It's, you know what I'm saying. It's a strategy. It helps. You know what I'm saying. It's all good. But we shall see. Greatly appreciate y'all coming out. As we go, we'll check it out. You know what I'm saying. We do. If you ain't doing nothing, check out Buns and basketball. Buns and basketball.
I'm finna look at that right now.
So we greatly appreciate y'all coming out. Like my man Bishop said, 09 to 1100 every Monday through Friday. Plenty of content, nothing but fun, introspectives. It is what we love doing, what we do. We greatly appreciate y'all. At this time, show attention. Fallout.
Roll fight. Have a great Monday, y'all.